You may have noticed that our shopping cart is not persistent. In fact, if you refresh the browser, the cart data will be lost. In this video, I will explain how you can identify anonymous user sessions and how you can save individual users' cart data, and so to make the cart persistent. In order to identify anonymous users, we will create persistent sessions. Basically, the first time a user connects to our website, the server will send a cookie with the session ID. A cookie is nothing more than a small document that the browser stores in the client computer, and that can be accessed again by the server from which the cookie was released. The next time a user will connect to our website, the server will read the cookie and recognize the session ID, and so the specific user. Now, how can we use persistent sessions to create a persistent shopping cart? There are two ways. The simpler way is to store user session ID in a cookie together with the cart data. This approach has two main problems. First, cookies can store only a very limited amount of data. And secondly, but even more importantly, if you will restart the server, you will lose both session ID and cart data. The approach I would recommend to follow in mostly of the scenarios is to store the session ID in a cookie and the cart data in MongoDB and associated with the session ID. In order to implement this approach, we need to track sessions in our API server and build GET and POST requests for the cart data to retrieve and update a cart collection, which also include the user session ID. Don't worry about wasting space in your database, because I will also show you how to set up the timing for the session to expire. And when the session will expire, the relative cart data will be automatically deleted from the database. Finally, let's take a look what we will try to achieve in the next lecture. When the user connects to our website, the client will make a GET request of the cart data. The API will then respond with the cart data related to the specific session ID, if any. We will send the response to the reducer, which will then update the state and eventually render the cart, if not empty.